Hi, and welcome to this week's episode, Man, We're Too Old for This. I'm your host for this one, the Todd Father, and joining me as always...
The experience of someone called Jason.
CDL 113.
The token 1 + 1 sometimes makes 3, Tarky.
Okay. This week, we're going to be talking about shippers. The weird, creepy fuckweeds that go see movies and, put weird shit together that comes out of nowhere. Or sometimes it does. Or sometimes it makes sense, but they still get kind of weird about it.
See, when he said shippers the first time off camera, I thought he was talking about FedEx or some crap like that.
Because that's just what we would talk about. But it's not just movies, though. People do it with shows, cartoons, you name it.
And it usually kills them. Think how many TV shows that you've had where you go, oh man, it'd be so nice if the two main characters got together and then they finally put them together and then the show lasts like a season.
Yeah.
That's one of those things, I don't know if that's the cause of it, or if it's the fact that the show is starting to go downhill and they decide to do that as part of their job.
Their last rallying cries.
Well, the fans wanted this, so we're going to do it and see if that picks, see if we pick up anything.
I don't know. I think a lot of times, though, what it does, it kills the tension. People are tuning in.
Yeah.
Because you have that tension. Will they, won't they, should they, shouldn't they? And then when they give you what you want, they're together, I don't give a damn. And you go watch something better where there's tension.
Yeah.
It gets rid of the... That's the only show I can think of that they finally did get together and it still lasted a little while. Was like Lois and Clark. I remember they played around with them forever, but they were married. Superman and Lois were married in the books by that time, so you kind of knew it was going there.
Yeah. But
they drugged that one out for as long as they possibly could.
Yeah, there were several shows these were considered nerd shows back in the 80s, like
Moonlighting.
And then Remington Steele.
Yep. And it killed both of them.
It ended up killing both of them.
those weren't really nerd shows. Those were both pretty mainstream.
Well, Danny was a nerd. He watched it.
Was a nerd show.
Manimal was a nerd show. Knight Rider was a nerd show.
Knight Rider was pretty mainstream.
Knight Rider was nerdy.
It got picked up by nerds, but everybody at the time...
Yeah, but it wasn't a just nerd.
Yeah, it wasn't just.
Nerds still talk about it. When it was airing, people just watched it normally and went, oh, cool, talking car.
Yeah.
It's a talking bulletproof car. That's sci-fi nerd shit. Star Trek, when it was first out, wasn't just nerdy. It was popular as hell. And then you got Trekkies that are hardcore nerds.
It became nerd, yes. But when it was airing, it was just a big show.
Let Danny be his Moonlight nerd.
I don't know that the original Star Trek was necessarily all that big when it was originally out. It got decent ratings the first couple of seasons, I think, but it was not as big when it was out as Next Generation was when it was out.
Yeah. Well, by then you had a whole generation of folks that were sit there and rewatch the originals and
it got as big as it got in syndication. It became that kind of cult classic, and then the movies hit.
Had nothing to do with shipping.
Absolutely.
Did anybody get together in any of this crap?
Whoa, hold on. One of the key points of shipping was Kirk Spock. That was the first time. You had printed books of that shit.
This is true.
Really?
The motherfuckers that wrote it literally wrote, we are not attempting to make this the standard of how you do this stuff. We just wanted to write this story because we thought it would be neat.
I remember my uncle years ago complaining about that.
Really?
Because the woman writing the book, if you were somebody that had watched the show, it's coming out of left field with it.
Anybody get death threats?
Back then, I don't know, because you had to write actual letters. So death threats actually took time and postage. And
they could trace that stuff real easy.
And, because you had...
you drop it into a random mailbox.
You had magazines where, you just take the time to cut the big letters.
There's a lot more time than just getting on Twitter with a fake account, Threatening to track down someone and their spouse and their children.
Like you couldn't cut out, I hope you get hit by a truck. Send that in the mail. I say that laughingly. Daisy Ridley actually got that. Because the fans that they got in place of, the ones that gave them money.
Give them threats now?
Yeah. Yeah, they spent a whole lot of time talking about toxic fandom for basically the Twilight crowd that they got as Star Wars fans now. That when when they have their kiss and then Kylo dies and she basically roses his ass and the Titanic lets him go. Yeah. Adam Driver's gotten threats. Daisy Ridley got a message on Twitter basically going, why'd you go to the director and stop him from doing this? I hope you go out into the traffic and die.
Well, it's like Leonardo DiCaprio was talking in an interview recently. You know where was it Inception? You know where it ends with the little thing spinning, and you don't know is he in the Inception or is it just spinning and they walk off? You know. He said people would ask him, well, what about such and such? He goes, I don't know. And he started getting threats because people thought he was just holding out information, and it took the director of the movie coming out. We don't know. No, but the way it was written, it was left hanging. So quit giving people death threats.
Toxic.
Clearly, you know how to handle stuff. But they don't know how to handle stuff like that.
It's just way too easy to send death threats nowadays.
If we got a death threat on the Nerd Eternal channel, I would tell them, one of us has got a governor loaded with flechettes. I'm not going to tell you which one of us it is. Bring your ass. We're in Alabama. We can leave you laying in our yard and get by with it.
Yep.
I will find you. I will kill you. I wouldn't take that bet, but okay.
Be careful. We may pull a Tony Stark on you.
You got a 1 out of 4 shot. It's actually a lot worse. Nope, I did not pick the one with the governor. I picked the one with the other 45. Damn it.
Or pick the one with the HK.
Yeah.
I have hands.
Well, now they know it's not you.
You don't know that they're not deadly hands of kung fu.
That's true.
Actually,
I know he's done some fighting, so. Yeah.
Or hands that can pick up a shotgun.
I have hands. Hands.
Boy, this
that can hold
segued
this back.
real quick, didn't it? It got out of hand fast.
Well, we're just nipping the ideal of death threats in the.
Oh, keeping it from jumping up a notch. Gotcha.
Because, 2 of us will shoot you, one of us will just beat you down, and the other one will stab the crap out of you. Maybe with an antique.
Or maybe.
What? I've got an antique bayonet. It's about yay long.
Or maybe all of the above.
I've got some antique knives too. So.
Yeah. What do you do? Well, first he hit him with a machete, and then damn, he was the one with the governor. Wow. 5 minutes in, and we've become what we hate.
Well, we're not threatening anybody. We're saying if you show up in our house.
We're threatening people that threaten us.
Yeah, they can get by.
You will like what we say, and if you threaten us...
Oh, and by the way, this video is not for children. Go away.
Or is it?
Hey, they played Fortnite. They know what violence is by now.
Anyway, back to shipping. John Boyega a couple of weeks ago was like roasting shippers.
So the term is really for the people that go kind of psycho about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not just the casual fan that goes, well, I'd like these two characters to get together.
You
or
can,
these two characters
you
to
can
get
ship something without being a shipper.
Okay, yeah.
Shipper
yeah.
is typically coined to the people that
Shipper.
obsessively ship.
Gotcha.
Shippers are tricky.
Like you can drink alcohol without being an alcoholic.
Okay,
Right.
I gotcha.
But it's when you go completely nut job psycho.
It's when shipping becomes your passion
Okay.
in watching something that you become.
Supernatural I didn't realize it had a term, shipping, but Supernatural inside their TV show has dealt with shipping because
Dean Cass is too powerful to fucking stop.
well, so you got Sam and
Slap
Dean
God.
and Chuck.
They've
God,
slapped everybody.
God as Chuck has wrote the series Supernatural, a series of books. Everybody just thinks it's fan fiction, or fiction, not realizing it's based on 2 actual people in the show. And you have the shipper fans in there trying to put Sam and Dean together as a couple. And it
That
says
sounds like something you find on the real internet. I'll be honest.
and
that sounds
in
about
the
right.
books it says Sam and Dean are brothers.
Yeah.
But these like they run into them at a convention. They're tracking down a bad guy, and they run into these supernatural shippers at the convention. And they're like, "You do realize Sam and Dean are brothers because they're using fake IDs and crap." Oh, I don't care. I'm like, they're dealing with themselves, Wow, this guy just meta real quick,
I got weirded out when you told me God was writing the show.
Yeah.
That's what they did. They kicked God's ass, and then he started writing the show. Was he writing the show, or they kicked? I don't care. I stopped kidding.
Well, it's an inside joke because Chuck Lorre is the guy
God,
that
wrote the show.
Chuck Lorre is the guy that wrote the show. So Chuck, they named this guy in the show Chuck after him, and they're always talking about the lore and everything. Well, Bobby, the character Bobby in the show, his first and last name, you got a Robert, whatever his last character's last name was the other producer of the show. So from the very start, you've got this guy named Chuck, who's writing the lore for the Supernatural books, and you've got Bobby, who's like their protective uncle.
I've never watched Supernatural, and I never shall.
I have.
You're not missing a whole lot.
No, it's the
A
show.
show that was
It's the show that should have died a long time ago.
Yeah, they have jumped the shark, jumped the horse, fed the horse to the shark, ate the shark, fed that shark to the dinosaurs. Yeah,
And they jumped over it.
Sometimes you just get oddball shows like that that just hang on. What was that superhero show from back in the 90s?
heroes.
From the 90s.
90s. Not the aughts.
Nightman?
Which one? Nightman?
Something like
The
that.
one that was based off the Malibu character?
Yeah. The series lasted longer than the comic did.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't last like Supernatural lasted. But to be such a low budget, not great show, that sucker just hung on. It had just enough core fans that it just hung on. To segue with my previous Manimal comment. Manimal showed up in that show.
Yeah, yeah. So Witchblade.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But yeah, back to shipping. Supernatural had a lot of shipping. That's how I know about Supernatural.
The Arrowverse has
Shipping.
a lot of shipping.
Is the
now,
shipping.
now that I know that there's a term for it, the Arrowverse has a lot of shipping. If
A lot of your fandoms, period, these days probably do.
you know, the whole Oliver and Felicity thing started out, she was just going to be a character on the show once or twice. And then you had such fan reaction to the show. Oh, they need to put her and Oliver together. And you had it happen in fan fiction first. And then the writers were like, we're going to steal this idea since it's our property anyway. And they plugged some of it into the show. And it's like,
Yeah, I know Flash, they were shipping Barry and Caitlin, but that had more to do that I don't like the fact that Iris is black. That's literally where that came from.
Yeah.
They went, white girl, you'll do. Yeah, let's ship them together.
The old Teen Titans cartoon. They would always try to put Raven and Beast Boy together, even though that's a couple that never made any good sense.
they still do
But the
that.
alternative was her cyborg, so it's like, well, I see why, I can see why the random fan, the random folks. That's
And going back to Star Wars,
Wars,
I truthfully think that's where Raylo comes from. Because anybody that watched any of the damn Disney Star Wars, it was Finn and Rey. The minute Finn saw her, that's one of the things I didn't like about Finn was he lapped after her like a damn dog.
Skirt chaser. Just from
Yeah,
the get-go.
I mean, from the get-go, it was like, this is what I've been missing all my life. And, Rianne Johnson came in and tried to go, well, we'll give you the kind of portly Asian girl. Well, I do. No, that don't work. Then you had the fans basically going, yeah, it's him and Poe, which comes from no goddamn word.
Oh, they had a child, BB-8. Don't you know that?
Look, he found out he didn't die and he hugged him. Well, yeah, I've been friends with Jason 20 years. If I thought he died in a car wreck, he showed up at my house and was like, oh shit, you didn't die, I would probably hug him.
Well, your first reaction would be, I can't come in.
Well, first, did you die in the car wreck? And then once I realized...
You have to
that did-
verify.
Yeah. Once I realized that you were not some brain-sucking ghoul or vampire, I'd probably hug you.
After you told
God
him,
has rules.
raise your hand. All right, break your finger. Is that blood? Yes. Okay, we're good.
I don't know, vampires.
Well, I don't know. If he broke his finger and was cool with that, yeah.
I said
that's-
prick, not break.
Oh, I thought you said
Just
break.
poke it once.
Yeah.
Like, do it with
If
blood.
I'm standing in sunlight, that would counter any vampirism.
I wouldn't invite him in the house, though. You gotta be sure.
You would open the door. Can you come in without me inviting you?
That would just be rude.
That's the
Well,
vampire.
if I open the door, can you just walk in on your own, or do I have to physically say it? Or is that implied that I'm inviting you in because I opened the door?
Nobody invite Jason in. He might be a vampire. The second you crack the door, I can just picture Olivia. Come on in.
Truthfully, if she was home, oh shit, this is going on right.
Now you made me remember Shiki. I love Shiki. The
That
Japanese-
would be. How hungry are you?
Now, I have to admit, with the Star Wars stuff, though, this is the first time I've really become familiar or really run across like
Yeah.
a toxic level of
You
shipping.
need to go.
Yeah.
Go answer.
You can go. Go answer the door.
I'll segue off into my thing real quick and then come back because it's not about shipping.
All right, what segue have you got?
Was Shiki talking about vampires? It reminded me of the one dude in that show went, we have to invite. As long as you leave the rest of my family alone, you are allowed in this room through that window to kill me. And handed them the note. Because you are invited to this specific room, only when I'm by myself in it. He set down all these rules and went, yeah, we'll follow it. Walked in, took him and left. And his family survived.
See, that usually don't work.
Pardon
in
the
the,
interruption,
in
folks.
the Lords, usually, if you invite them in, they can come in when they want, where they
Yeah.
want, and all that. From then on, they keep their asses out.
But they were a weird breed that had very specific rules.
Dang it. But yeah, we were actually talking about like the toxic levels of,
Mhm.
or when it gets weird.
Well, I've seen plenty of it where it gets weird, but the kind of death threats level, this is the first time I've encountered
Well, the trick
that.
is, it's basically when you let the Twilight fans in. That was the first time I really started paying attention to it, was Twilight, because Twilight
40-year-old
fans-
women very upset about,
yeah, about underage kids.
Yeah.
I worked with a lady that, I walked in, she knew I was nerdy, and she was like, hey, you Team Edward or Team Jacob? And I'm like, you mean Team Necrophilia or Team Bestiality? Neither. And walked off, and she was like, you ruined Twilight for me. Well, the fact that you gotten past the point that they were children should have been a red flag, but, if I have to take it there.
Well,
To be fair, one of them's not a child.
That's true. He's just dead.
and the one that's the werewolf, the actor in real life, I have no clue what his name is.
Taylor Lautner.
Taylor
He was a kid.
Yeah, when he said in an interview, I can't remember if it was Good Morning America or what, but Jennifer was watching the interview. She has not read the books. We just saw the first movie. And she
I
saw
love how
it.
he still makes excuses for watching that direct. No, it wasn't me.
It's okay. We've done all the judging we're going to do. Just go with it.
But he's on the show and they're talking.
I was lying.
Oh,
I was lying.
I know you judge me. But he's being interviewed by the press, and the female is sitting there just about like this, drooling, and the guy that's the one of the hosts says, "What's the worst thing that's come about for you out of this movie?" He goes, "That." He doesn't point at her, but he goes, when the moms and daughters show up to the signings or the whatever. The younger girls are pretty cool about it. I get why with the moms, some of them kind of creep me out. And when he said that, that's when the lady went, "Really?" And it's like her whole demeanor changed. She went from oh wait a minute, I'm showing myself. Yes.
Wait, I'm showing my
Or
pedophile on camera.
Or she realized that she was being creepy.
Yeah. And
You used to watch that on
On
TV and you
camera.
don't think about it. Because you have a lot of TV shows where, this character is 17 and the actor's 25,
yeah. And he
That may have been her realizing, right, this one is actually a child.
yeah, he goes, and he mentions that because some of the
I'm
fellow
being creepy. On camera.
Some of the fellow castmates, he said, were in their 20s and whatnot. And he said, I was one of the youngest. He said, when we started filming, I think he said he was still 17 when he started.
Yeah,
he
And he
was
said,
a
but they
kid.
made us get, he said, the wolves knew we were going to be running around in shorts without a t-shirt, shorts and a pair of shoes a lot of times. So they made us work out. And he said, the girls that were the wolves, they were wearing like a sports bra and shorts. But that was the thing, because when we shifted, we had to be. And he said, a lot of these moms show up thinking, I'm 25 and I'm ready to go, and I'm not. I'm like,
But that raises a question. Is shipping a guy thing? Do dudes sit around
Yes.
basically?
I'll go ahead and tell you yes.
Oh God,
Quite a number.
I bet you it's anime.
Look, I ain't going into it. I saw it from the surface level and went, y'all some freaks. Have fun. I'm going to go over here.
there.
Except with Homestuck. With Homestuck, I enjoyed the shipping of that so much. Because they would ship 2 coffee cans from different panels together. in crack shit, because that was the entire thing was,
Making fun of it.
there were so many characters in that thing that everyone had, I'm going to throw some terms at you,
Okay.
an OTP.
Okay.
One true pairing.
Okay.
And then everything else was garbage to them. They didn't care who else was with what. They just wanted these two together, and that was it.
That sounds more like they were being ridiculous about it, just to be ridiculous about it, though.
And that's
As opposed
yeah.
to the death threats.
What crack shipping ends up being is, we want someone dressed as this at a convention to hold someone else dressed as this at a convention because it's two things from a comic that no one should dress up as.
The trick is that sounds like a joke.
Yes,
It-
crack shipping became a joke.
The trick is when I say is shipping a guy thing, I'm talking about where your ass is where your ass is serious, where it's
I bet you it is, because you got crazy folks of all types on the internet.
Talking about stalking, shipping kind of thing, I can see a lot of these folks that end up stalking an actor or an actress or a crew from a particular movie, writing this kind of stuff.
The trick is in the old days, it's still crazy as hell. But if I was a nut job that was fixated on, Candace Patton or some shit, I wasn't shipping her with nobody but me.
Yeah.
Nuts. It's me. I'm sitting there going, yeah, I'm trying to holler. I'm not sitting there going, man, I really hope she gets with Barry. Fuck Barry. Well, it's all about me. I don't care about Barry's dick. Talking about mine. And go hang out in the bushes or something like, a normal person.
Well, you had, this was on 2020 one time, and they were talking about people that got obsessive about actors or actresses or the characters that they played and couldn't differentiate that, hey, this is the actor, this is his character. And you had this lady that she fell in love with one of the members of a daytime soap opera cast. And she thought that's who that person was. And when she met them in real life,
you have
she
that
couldn't
kind of
differentiate.
You have that kind
and
of
then
thing.
she snapped and tried to hurt him. And it's like, I can see that in some of the writing and reactions to fans. It's like, okay, went from beyond a fan story to, you need some help. You need to talk to somebody.
Here's the trick though, because with the Rise of Skywalker thing, you could go on Twitter and these people write these whole big long things of the reason why they should never own a firearm. But it was, well, I watched the Rise of Skywalker and Kylo dies and then I sat out in my car for 20 minutes crying and I couldn't go into work and all this, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's a fucking movie.
Yeah, it's
And I don't see that in a guy. I don't care. I ain't cried over somebody dying in a movie since I was like 6. The Elephant Man died, it bothered me because that was a damn sad story. Or Deborah Paget died in this movie called, oh shit, I forget the name of the damn thing, where they sacrificed her to a volcano at the end of it. Yeah, I was like in fucking kindergarten. I cried over that, but I was a fucking child. I didn't know that they hadn't just thrown this pretty girl in a fucking volcano.
Charlotte's Web.
I cried over Charlotte's Web, but again, I wasn't even kindergarten when I saw that cartoon.
Oh, yeah, I knew you should be a kid. I'm just throwing out another example.
I'm going to stay out of this immediately.
You ever seen Charlotte's Web?
But no, I played Little Busters when I was like 20 and cried at the end of that.
What's Little Busters?
Visual novel.
Oh.
The game.
Okay.
But what I'm talking about is, grown ass folks go watch a movie and
Or wrecked after.
are wrecked because somebody that didn't exist.
Well, if it's a sad movie and you're sniffling in the theaters, I don't judge you too much. But 20 minutes in your car, it's like,
Yeah, that.
Over a Star Wars film, like I said, it's a little different if you go to see The Notebook. And even that's usually not a fucking guy doing that shit. That ain't man shit. Man ain't sitting there watching Notebook going, God, that's so deep. Fuck out of here. Even if you get emotional about the shit, it ain't, well, I can't go into work because that damn last line of Killmonger's, I just can't handle it. Fuck out of here. That's when you didn't go, like I said, that's when you replace, like, your hardcore but still fairly sane fan with fucking Twilight folk. That's Twilight shit.
To me, it goes back to that meme that came out a couple of years ago, and it shows the guys storming the beaches in Germany or in France, those kind of things on D-Day. 18-year-old, such and such, so and so, and then it shows the next panel, and it's got this young kid, 18, needs a safe space. It's that thing where that's the bug man.
It's them. They need a safe space. We're coming into your safe space, you bastards.
But it's one of those things of we've went from manhood to need a safe
That's
space.
just the old generation always hates the young generation.
Yeah,
And the
You've
name
got plenty of
I assure
guys
you.
in the army right now, every bit as tough as the guys that were back in D-Day.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
I assure you, the 18-year-old in D-Day, if you went, hey, do you want to be in a place not this? They went, I do want to be in a place not this.
But I got drafted.
But it's
That was
But it was this or jail.
Or Canada. Blame Canada.
But if you took one of those 18-year-olds from back then and showed them a sad movie, they may get, oh, that's a sad movie. But they wouldn't have, had to sit in their car and cry for 20 minutes and not been able to go
And
to
let
work
Danny
the next
rant.
day.
What the hell's the name of the show?
Yeah, you fair. It's the same rant every time he brings up, those damn millennials.
I didn't name a particular generation.
Why the hell you think we got a damn millennial on here?
Well, actually, the
Scott
meme I think
Trent.
it was probably a post-millennial anyway. But
Next we'll find somebody from Gen Z, but they can't really talk.
How dare you?
What? You're not Gen Z?
Zoomers are better than us. That's just it.
What?
Nah. Statistically, they're just better than us.
How you figure?
Because statistically, they're just better than us.
They eat soap. And they douse themselves.
Y'all
in
ate
soap.
live goldfish.
No, I didn't.
that is a thing from our generation.
That's
and
a thing
the
from your
one-
generation.
I
one
thought
right
that was.
before
I
us.
thought that was Dad's generation.
That was-
Both.
That segued.
It's a cross section because
Never ate
carnivals,
live.
that was a thing.
carnivals with goldfish existed for a long time.
And how many folks you've just been talking about be sitting there going, I've never eaten soap. You old bastard.
Can't say
The
that I
fact
didn't
is,
have my
if you
mom
just
wash
had-
my mouth out with soap.
If you
once,
just had
but I
5
didn't
people do
choose to eat
the
it.
Tide Pod thing and put the videos up, they're everywhere.
I watched at least 15 of them douse themselves in accelerant and set themselves on fire.
That's far enough back. That was probably millennials.
Yeah.
Because the ones I saw at least were grown basically when they did it, and that's far enough back.
The ones I saw, they were like teens. It's
And
it's
they
still
thought
it's
that
still
would
one
be-
of them kind of things
Yeah,
where
that
you
made
go,
one of the things like the goldfish where it segued through.
it's still one of those kind of things where you go eating a fish, setting yourself on fire. Eating a fish, setting yourself on fire. Ooh, I'm gonna pour salt in it. Oh, it's on my balls. Go on and drop the match. Some of those are funny. For the wrong reason. Especially the one that he does it and you hear the fire alarm going off in the house. The
This
smoke
shows
detector.
how much everybody else knows about shipping. We've segued a lot in this episode.
Yeah. It was a weak thing. You kind of go ahead. Kids
Really,
are
it just
fucked up.
feels like you got way too passionate about Raylo.
I found the response to Raylo funny. I'm always weirded out because I'm a nerd. I'm a fan. I get passionate about stuff. But when it goes into, well, if the two actors don't really get together, then I hope one of them's spouse dies so they can, and all that kind of shit. Yeah.
Well, you don't get passionate enough about any of it that you're going, I want to go kill somebody over it.
Or that I hope they die. Because some of that wasn't, I want to kill you. It's just, well...
I hope misfortune befalls your house.
Right. It was literally, well, if they can't be together on the movie, then, they should be together in real life. Well, dude, I'm married with kids. Well, fuck your wife and your kids and all that so you can go hook up with, fuck her fiance.
Who was
It's
it? One
like,
of your old,
sweet God.
One of your old actresses that did was big when she was a teen. It was her and some dude that started a lot of movies together. And when she got married, whoever it was she wound up marrying, fans got upset that she'd marry anybody but this dude.
Was it Frank Avalon, Ned Funicello?
I don't think so. Those names I remember, I forget who it was. But
Do you remember anything they were in?
it was something. They were an actor and actress mom. My mom would have watched stuff with. I just remember seeing an interview with him.
But guess what? That means this is a multi-generational problem.
To some degree. You know, in this case, it was the actor and actress
Yeah.
they were that attached to.
But it's just because we're in the age of information.
Mhm.
This shit happens way faster now.
But
And with much more accurate recording.
But you know, people get that upset about it based on having seen the characters and not just thinking about the fact that no, these two people are. I mean, they get along fine, but they're co-workers.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody shipping me with any of my co-workers.
Well, you've had people. But if you know a non-coworker, shipping.
To be fair, specifically with me, I don't really want to be shipped with anybody. I want to die alone and happy.
I think this
I'm
show just got a little real,
I'm now
Jason.
going on public record saying that.
Do you have some stuff you need to get off your chest?
Yes, all the people.
Jason
We've
sitting,
covered this.
Jason's sitting there going, I want to be shipped with my empty house.
Okay, a larger, nicer empty house would be alright.
So you want to cheat on your current house with a better house.
So you'll rent that one out.
I didn't say I was a good person. Just a person who wants to be alone.
Oh, God.
But,
Jesus Christ.
well, I think we've about gotten our time in.
Yeah.
I mean,
Segway and all, yeah.
well, you know, we had basically the one movie and the craziness surrounding it. I am greatly amused by how toxic the new fans have gotten.
Oh yeah, that's, well the thing
It's toxic
is,
masculinity, or it's these toxic shippers.
well the trick is, I could have gone into She-Ra because they got it to the DreamWorks She-Ra. They really want She-Ra and Catra to hook up. And the fact that they won't hook up has got them like pissed off and all that. And I'm
That one strikes me as mildly creepy because what little bit I know about the show, they were basically raised like siblings, weren't they?
yeah. They don't give
I
a
mean,
shit.
granted, they're not actually related, but
Yeah, but they don't give a shit. That's the trick.
Champ, faux incest is in.
I guess that's why Barry and Iris worked out so good
Well,
on the show.
good night, everybody.
Yep, time to end this.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Barry and Iris were, hell, fake siblings. So yeah, it's a.
I've always thought that was weird on the show. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
you just gonna go out? I mean, I understand, he...
I always thought that Joe would have had a problem with that.
Yeah.
At some point,
The only problem, the only reason Joe probably didn't have a problem is Joe knew Barry
That's
had
true.
the hots for
That's true.
before he moved him in.
that's true. That's really not how dads tend to work.
Yes, I know.
But it is.
That's where that's coming from. That's why Joe can fix it.
It's my little girl, and you want to do what with your mouth? Hell no. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope.
You can't even shake her hand.
Get out. But yeah,
I don't
I admit to go into the you had the She-Ra thing where they were, well, why don't her and Catra get together? That one's funny, really, for the same kind of toxic thing, because when DreamWorks first mentioned that they were doing that, and you had people look at the character things and go, ugh, she look shit like She-Ra, and they went, ha! You old fans, a bunch of freaks getting sexually turned on by a cartoon, because, you know, the cartoon you grew up with had breasts and ass, and that's you bunch of freaks.
And this was Ben 10 in a long blonde wig.
But now that you got Ben 10 in a long blonde wig, they're sitting there going, well, why wouldn't she would get together with this cat broad, and I can't rub one out because this is a bunch of bullshit. I enjoy the irony. Anytime you have a fandom that kind of goes, fuck you to the people that made it popular in place of these fucking weirdos, and then they get weird, yeah, I have.
Old fans, new fans, they're all perverts.
The trick is the older ones tend not to be quite as sick. Hey, She-Ra don't look right. It's because you're getting sexually turned on. No, that looks like a boy.
This would be the moment to mention the My Little Pony fandom, but let's not.
Yeah, that was going through my brain.
Because all those are 30 and 40-year-old men.
No, My Little Brony fandom is tragic.
Yeah, they have issues.
Those were all grown-ass men.
And yet they went, look at all these grown-ass men. Let's go do Equestrian Girls.
And guess what? Grown-ass men didn't follow that.
I'm not sure that's weirder or not as weird.
You
I'm
look
not
at me in
sure.
the eyes, the grown-ass men didn't buy into that.
I'm not sure if that's better or worse. Whoa. I'm not into little girls. Oh, well, thank God for that.
I just
Back
want
to the horses.
Well, see, all the grown-ups in
They're little horses, but I don't know that makes it any worse though.
they all wanted to ride horses when they were kids. They told, no, horses for girls. Then they grew up and went, you know what? I want these horses, and I'm grown.
Horses were fine for boys as long as it was in the realm of
Cowboys.
and maybe knights.
Yeah. Cowboys, Knights, Zorro.
No, they wanted to brush the hair. They were told they couldn't. And it took them 15 years of progress.
That's true.
Memories.
If you got a cowboy toy that came with a horse or anything like that, it ended with the hard plastic hair. Where the My Little Ponies had the brushable. Okay, you make a correct point.
Now, please, let's stop so I don't have to continue thinking
Let's
about this.
wrap her up. Let's wrap her up.
So anyway, that's been the show for this week. Really should have ended this like 5 minutes before he started talking about that. But anyway, I've been your
5
host.
minutes into the show.
I've been your host. I'm the Todd Father. Joining me as always.
The experience some call Jason.
CDL 113.
The token repressed fandom memories, Tarky.
Please like, share, subscribe. See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.